Hello there and welcome. In this video we'll be working on problem 11 in the Intro to CAD problem set. And as you can see here, this guy is what I would call a pipe flange. A pipe flange is something that if you had to hang a pipe off of a wall horizontally, you'd put one on each end, bolt it into the wall, and the pipe stays up and you can hang lights on it or something. But yeah, pipe flange. This guy right here is, again, remember, is an orthographic projection. Okay, and again, in orthographic projection, everything is lined up perfectly. All the lines, everything works together, and it's not just kinda, it's not just maybe, they perfectly line up. If they do not perfectly line up, it is not right. So keep that in mind while you're drafting things. In this project, we'll be drawing a lot of circles. We'll be drawing a circle in circles, and we will learn a new command called the fillet command. We learned how to snap off a little bit of a corner, the chamfer at an angle. Now we're going to learn how to do it with a radius. So let's get going. The first circle we're going to draw, the blue circle, looks like it is a diameter of 1.5 inches. All right, here we go. And let's start 1.5 inches. Let's come over here, diameter 1.5. Okay, here's our first circle that we're going to start with. Now, the next circle is a 2-inch circle. So let's give this guy a try. And 1 inch right there. There we have our next circle. And the third circle out, you'll see that there's not a dimension on that. So we will get to that point and we will be able to draw that once we get this piece over here done. So let's move out to the next circle, and that is a 5-inch circle. Again, snapping from the center. And here is our 5-inch circle. And the next circle after that is a 6-inch circle. And here is our 6-inch circle. Now, if you look really close, you're going to see that this second circle here is dashed. And you have to look close because the circles are right on top of the dash, which is weird, but that's the way it works out. But is a long dash and short dash. So we're going to come over here to our line types, and I think it's dash style 9. So I'm going to drag this guy over, and here's our dashed line. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to draw these little circles, and we're going to put them in a circle. So the first circle we're going to draw is a 1/2 inch diameter. 0.5, enter. There we go. And we're going to snap that guy right to the top center of this circle. I'm going to zoom in just a bit. Now, by looking at the project, you could, if you wanted to, drag and hold down and copy, and it's okay, we're going to do this, and it's like, yeah, you would have to play around with a lot to get them right. But there's a quicker way, and I'm going to show you how to do it, and that is up under Edit, Duplicate Array, and we're going to use a circular array. You want to select, and we have to answer some questions. How many duplicates do we need? Now we need 8 circles total, so we're going to be duplicating it 7 times. And then the angle between duplicates, if we want this to go all the way around in a circle, it will be 360 degrees divided by 8 is 45. And then the last thing we do is we want to tell the program, okay, what point do we want to swing everything around? So we're going to use the next mouse click. We're going to click in the center, and watch this. Kaboom, all set. And these guys are perfectly exactly on this circle, 45 degrees apart, not maybe, not kind of, exactly, which is awesome. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to start working on the right view. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to draw a couple lines over. Draw a line about here. I'll draw this line snapping right at the bottom of the circle. I'm going to grab onto this guy so it's the same. And now we know what I'm drawing over here is going to be exactly the same size as this. This line should be 6 inches. Yippee, it is. Okay, now we can delete these guys. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to draw the top and bottom lines. They are 1/2 an inch, 1/2 an inch, 1/2 an inch, and we're going to finish this guy up right here. And here we have that long slender rectangle. So now what we're going to do is we're going to start dragging these lines over here. And what we're doing is we're actually looking at this piece from the side. Okay, so I'm going to drag these guys over, and I'm going to drag this guy over, and here we go. Now, if we look at the drawing, the whole piece on the right is 3 inches wide. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to draw a couple lines. I'm going to draw 3 inches. Okay, and then I'm going to drop down to here. And now what I can do is I can either pull these guys back to right here, pull them back, or I could come along and I could just do some trimming. Trim, 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 trim. And here we have our lines. Okay. Now what we need to do is we need to make these guys right here, because these are hidden lines, and remember, hidden lines are lines that are behind another part of the object, and those are dashed lines. So we want to come up and make our dashed lines, and what we have to do again is drag the line type over. There's one dash line, there's another dash line, and we're all set. Now the last thing we need to do is come in here and we need to put this fillet in here. And again, the difference between a fillet and a chamfer, which you've already done, is that a chamfer is an angle and a fillet is a radius. So we're going to delete these lines up here quick too. Delete, delete. Oh, and we just have to draw this line across here. There we go. So now we're going to draw this fillet in here, and if we look at the dimension, that is 1.5 inch radius. So what we need to do is come over to our fillet, select the radius as 1/2 inch, and then there are 3 options here. You can play around with the options. Almost always I use the trim mode. We'll have to redraw the line a couple times, but for me it works out better. So we'll have this selected, and just like chamfer, we click on both lines. Here is our line. So now I'm just going to come down here and prep this one. We'll do the same thing, and here we go. So now all I have to do is either draw a line in between this, or I'm just going to drag this guy up, snap it to the end right here, and here we go. That looks just about right. So now we are ready to dimension, but as always we need to put in this center line right here, and again we have to make this on our own. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to find the midpoint, draw, we're going to make our line. Okay, draw another line. I'm going to scooch it over just a little bit, give it that gap, and then I'm going to come here and take this guy. We've made these on quite a few projects, so this should not be a surprise. Don't get lazy, we have to make these. So what we're going to do, we'll select it, group it, Control or Command G, and we'll just kind of slide that over just a little bit, and here's our center point. Let's come back, and now we're going to start dimensioning. There's not too many dimensions, it shouldn't be too hard, but before we begin the rest of our dimensions, what I'm going to do, I'm going to move him out of the way just for a second. You'll see where I'm going with this, but as you can see, the red dimension is 4 inches from the center point of the circles over to the right. So I'm going to draw a line that's 4 inches, and then I'm going to take this whole guy here and grab right at the top of the unit, not at the center line, but at the top of the actual tube. Come over here, snap it onto that line, delete the line. Now these guys are exactly 4 inches apart as specified in the instructions. I'm going to move them over just a little bit. There we go. So now let's do our linear dimensions. So let's see here. Click here and here. Here is our 3 inches. Let's do our 6-inch dimension. Let's do our 1/2-inch dimension. See how that comes out. Okay, again, I'm going to drag this dimension out to the side so it looks a little cleaner, a little easier to read. And I think that is all of our linear dimensions. So now we are going to do our radial circular dimensions. So let's start over here on the chamfer first. And it looks like that is it's a little hard to tell, but that is an interior radial dimension. So we're going to come back. Look at that interior radial dimension. It looks like we need to switch the shoulder over so it flips this way. Come here. And there we go. We need to put the 2x on there to show that it's for two objects. So I'm gonna do it in the front. 2x space. Enter. There we go. And now we're going to come over here, and I'm just going to start from the inside circle. These are all, looks like, exterior diametrical. So we're going to come over to exterior diametrical, and let's check the shoulder. And here we go. We're going to do the interior one. Here we go, 1.5 inches. We're going to do the next one is 2 inches. Let's do this inside circle. And we're at 4 7/8. And I drew the diameter that is 4 7/8 instead of 5 inches. So we are going to fix that quick, and I will show you how. We're just going to redo that command, so it's not too difficult. I'm going to delete all these circles. We'll do it quick. These things happen, guys. You'll notice things, and instead of just letting it go and I'm saying, okay, well, that's okay, we don't need to worry about it, nobody's going to notice. Yeah, they will notice. It's 1/8 of an inch off. That's a lot. So let's change it to 5 inches. There we go. We're going to snap our circle back onto the top. We're going to come back, redo our command. Everything should be selected. Circular array, 7 duplicates, 45 degrees. Next mouse click. There we go. Problem solved. Now we're going to come back, and hopefully that dimension will be right. Let's see. I believe it is. Excellent. Now we're going to do our 6-inch, and we are going to do our small dimension. And now this guy, we have to add a couple things because we are creating 8 of them. And you see that note there that says through. That note is there to tell us that those holes are going to get drilled all the way through, so we don't have to have a bunch of messy little hidden lines over here. One note replaces all these lines. That's pretty nice. So what we're going to do is make sure the dimension is selected. Come over here to leader, and we are going to do 8x space, and then we're going to do through, space through, space. There we go. And there's our dimension. Now there's one line. Everything, I think we have everything. We have this guy ready to go. Everything is dimension. The one thing we haven't drawn is, and we haven't done our center mark. Here's our center mark. The only thing we need to draw yet is this 3rd circle. And if you've been wondering where that is, remember we're looking at this from straight on. That 3rd circle is where this fillet meets the plate. So it's really easy to draw in. What we're going to do is we're going to draw from the end point of that arc. I'm just going to draw it right here. And just line, it doesn't matter. I'm going to draw one more circle, and I'm going to draw it from the center point out to that line. I'm going to delete that line, and that is our final circle, and that is our final thing to do to make sure this drawing is right. So let's take a look at it. Man, that is rocking right there. I will take this. So thanks guys for following along. Took a little longer. We had to solve a problem. We had to fix something, and again, that's going to happen. But make sure you do it. So thanks a lot, and look forward to seeing you on problem number 12.